Right, with this one, there's a bit of work involved here, okay, because in the modulus there is a square in there, okay, an x squared. So we've actually got a quadratic going on here. So there is little bit of work involved. We do the same thing as normal, plus or minus, x squared minus 10 is less than or equal to 6, right? So then you take the plus option, so you've got x squared minus 10 is less than or equal to 6. So then that means x squared, okay, is less than or equal to 16, okay? Now, in this case, right, you've got x squared, right, and it's no good just, you can't think about now taking the square over and square rooting, right? It's not as simple as that, because we've got an inequality involved, all right? So you have to define now what region of x satisfies this particular inequality, and this actually goes back to C1 work. If you remember in C1 work where you had to solve inequalities, we actually sketched a graph. So in this case, what actually might be best is think of this now as a quadratic, right? And I would actually take that 16 over the other side, so you end up with this. So you might be thinking back to C1 now, where we actually had a quadratic inequality. So we got it all then, so it was less than, in this case, equal to 0, right? And then we went about sketching this. Now this graph is actually quite easy to sketch, right? Because if you think about it, x squared is a smiley face, and if you've got x squared minus 16, that means then you've got your graph shifted, okay, down, yeah? So actually, whereas your normal smiley face goes like that to the origin, okay, now it's shifted down to minus 16, so we're going to be about there, okay? Obviously this is just a sketch, okay, but minus 16 is where it goes through on the y-axis, okay? Right? Now, of course, I'm interested in when it's less than or equal to 0, right? So what about these values here? Okay, these are obviously important. If you remember from C1, we looked at those critical points, didn't we? Critical points. Now, those critical points, of course, is where this is equal to 0. Okay? And, of course, when we're looking at where that's equal to 0, where y is 0, okay, when you've got this, it's really easy, isn't it? Because you have yourself this, and then you know then it's just going to be plus or minus the square root of 16, so it'll be plus or minus 4. Okay, so there's 4 there, minus 4. Alright, now remember now what we want. We want this graph here, or this inequality here, to be less than 0, okay, less than or equal to 0. So you need to ask yourself now, okay, what part of the graph am I interested in? Well, we're obviously interested in this part of the graph, aren't we? Okay, this bit here. Okay, because this is where we have negative, okay, and these x values here, okay, provide the negative part where it's less than 0. So we can say those x values then are going to be x is less than or equal to 4, okay, or greater than or equal to minus 4, right? So we've actually solved that bit, right? However, bear this in mind now, this is just for what we've done here, okay, just for the positive of that bracket. We're going to look at the negative of the bracket now, okay, so that's there, right, and you can look back at it if you're not clear on anything. But now let's look at the negative side of it, okay, right, we'll have something similar. Now when we do the negative of it, we'll have negative, then take the negative through, negative x squared plus 10 is less than or equal to 6, okay, so then if I take that number over to the side, okay, I'd have 6 take away 10, won't I? So then negative x squared is less than or equal to minus 4. Now it would make sense now to divide by minus, okay, by minus 1. So we divide by minus 1. Don't forget the inequality's got to change direction when I'm dividing by negative. So I'll have x squared is greater than or equal to 4. Alright? X squared is greater than or equal to 4. And you've got that, as I said, now it's going to have a range of values because it's a quadratic. Get it like now in the format of C1, so that you've got it 0, greater than or equal to 0, take the 4 over. Now draw your graph, okay. Now this one, x squared minus 4, okay, so it's x squared, but this time it's only shifted down to 4, So it's minus 4 there. Let's think about what these values would be. These are the critical points, don't forget. Obviously, you put this equal to 0, right? And of course, you know, if you work it out, you'd end up having 2 there when you're in negative 2 there. All right? Now, look at what we want here. We want this graph to be greater than 0. Greater than 0. So we're interested in this bit of the graph here, aren't we? And this bit. So in this case, those x values provide that. So it's greater than 0. And those x values there. So we could say x is greater than or equal to 2. Or x has got to be less than equal to minus 2. Now we're still not done, right? We're still not done because we've got more practically all of it done, but this here, right, has to be satisfied by this, yeah? Has to be satisfied by this. And we looked at two situations that apply to this. The two situations have to work all the time, okay? The two situations always have to be satisfied, okay? If we look at the second situation here, we've said that x has got to be greater than or equal to 2, yeah? That's one option, greater than or equal to 2. However, even though it's greater than or equal to 2, it can't be all the values greater than or equal to 2. If you compare it over here, okay, you can't keep going. You have to stop at a certain point. You know, x is greater than or equal to 2 would mean that you go on forever. But if you look at this situation here, we've shown you that x actually has to be less than 4, okay? So it has to be greater than 2, but ultimately it has to be less than 4 as well to actually keep this situation happy, all right? So it has to be between these two values. And then if we look at the negative side of it as well, okay, we established in the second situation that x has got to be less than minus 2, okay? But it doesn't mean you can be all the negative values, because you've got to satisfy this as well. As well as it being less than minus 2, it's also got to be greater than minus 4, so there's a stopping point there. Okay, so you can see now, to satisfy everything, we've got to be within this range and within that range. Okay, so in order to work out these ranges here, all you do is, let's take that one first. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 4, okay, but it's got to be greater than or equal to 2. Okay, right, so therefore we've got that. Or we can have this situation, x is, let's go with the highest one, less than or equal to minus 2 or greater than or equal to minus 4. Okay, and there's our overall answer. A lot of work, but this is the only way that it should be done.